ɗaya ya san yadda zai gudanar da yanayin rayuwarsu. Ubangiji ya taimake mu. Ubangiji ya yi mana bishewa. So zan ba ma Reverend.
It's very sad for us. We'll find time to talk. It's not the time to talk now. Amma, muyilura, muzuma masu wayo, muzuma masu hikima. Allah ya taimake mu.
Now, most of you may be asking what is happening here. What happened is that Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, they came in this village, slaughter 11 Christians. 12 Christians were slaughtered by Fulani herdsmen. So I don't want to show their body because of the YouTube standard. I don't want to show the body because if I show the body, YouTube may strike my page. So then slaughter 12 Christians was slaughtered in this Christian community in Benue State. So this is what is happening. If you want to see the full video, you can send me a message on WhatsApp and I will send you the full video. You will see everything. So now you are about to watch another video. Thank you.
This is Peter George. This one is for Emma and Ibi. This one is for my younger brother, Amidu Agaba. This one is for my cousin brother, Moses James Aduba.
4 indigenous cousins of mine in this village were taken down by stupid Fulanis. The 5th person is a guest from Nasarawa State. We are here today recounting a very sad experience that is predicated on the now known Fulani attitude of we are in charge and we can do anything and nothing will happen to us. These same guys came to this village unannounced between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. when people were relaxed having their late lunch, came, opened fire and killed as many as they could and left. A known style, any moving animal, any moving human being was shot at and they left. When the security men were contacted, they never responded until almost 8 hours after. All through the night, the police were informed. The first-class chief, I can mention this with all total confidence, because I was in touch with him. He called the area commander. The area commander told him he was busy somewhere. He called the DPO. The DPO said, oh, we have already dispatched people there. And none of them surfaced until the following day. The Fulanis that have not been part of this society, the Fulanis that do not have any reason to come around here, the Fulanis that we don't have any reservoir of water that we say we could be in contest with them about. On what basis would they come and start shooting our people? My pain, and I must express this here, this old system where security men come and camp in the territory of the victims and begin to say they are protecting the victims, we don't need it. They should go and look for the enemy. We know the route of entry of these enemies. They should follow that route and begin to track the enemies. They shouldn't hang around and intimidate our people.
So I now saying if the security had responded on time,
promptly, there would have been a hot chase on them. Today would have been consoled with the fact that they went after them. Semblance of security could sometimes be consoling. When you have people just coming to sit down with arms sitting under the tree, who are they protecting now? Looking at them, you can be sure they don't have enough logistics capacity to stand even the times they want to keep them around here. I feel very bitter because we have served this country, served the country well, and we should not be paid back in this form.
She was taken to the rocky areas in the night, a kidnapper, while other Muslims were there. The Fulani didn't touch their same faith of Islam. They selected Christians, girls, and went and butchered them with rape. The doctor here did his best. They arrived at this hospital almost 12 midnight. after being kidnapped. This is the life of a Christian in Nigeria.
Again, for the sake of just a background, what actually happened? When exactly did it happen, and how did it happen?
Exactly when they were there, she was taking care of her mother. Her mother came, the one we saw. She was on admission here. And when they came, she was working here as a tender in this hospital, taking care of both the Christian and the Muslim that are on admission. In the evening, you will see Fulani people here, in which I met them the other time. But they came directly in the night around 8 p.m. They do what they do. They snatch them with swords in their hands, with AK-47. They refuse to shoot, because very close, the military are there. As I've been told, even the day before yesterday, they wanted to enter the village, but we turned the military. They stood on their ground to face them. They run back into the rock. This is the life of a Christian. And when they took her away, they do what they want, and she came back. Together with the other girl that were going to their house right now, down there into the village of Marit.
Okay, so again, where did they come from? How did it happen? And for how long did this incident last? And let's also know when exactly, which day.
It's just last week. Is it? On Saturday. And it's the same Saturday they kidnapped the wife of Reverend Zafania Mahmoud. Some went there for kidnapping, some came to this place for devious act. That same Saturday, what is the name of the date of Saturday? It has escaped my memory. Is it 24?
Yeah.
Today is
that will be 25th.
Okay, 25th.
October.
Then minus about 7 days or 8 days. The last Saturday.
It was 15. Or 17.
That was the day that she was kidnapped. And this thing happened in this hospital.
So let's get it clear. They raided the hospital, snatched
These
young
two
girls,
yes.
Who were attending to patients.
Yes.
And raped them in the
nearby rocks, this hill that is right there, behind that village.
Okay, so earlier you were talking about how they crawled back from the mountains, from the hills.
After they have finished it, they left them in pain, in agony. They find their way. Some of them were crawling into the hospital, shouting for help. Then those that were inside, they came and picked them into the hospital, and the doctors were able to do justice. And that's why today they are alive.
Okay, so when they came in, was there any reaction? Were there people? How did it happen? Were people panicking? The other
people were
patients
panicking. Look at them with swords, and look at them with AK-47. All they were panicking. So some were praying they have to faint because they thought that they are going to kill. But the Fulani that are on admission were there. They were also calm.
So do we know why they went for these ones in particular?
We don't know. The truth is we don't know. But the real blueprint to deal with Arna, to deal with Christians, if they cannot rape them, let us kidnap them, plunder them, destroy their farm crops, invade their villages, kill them,
That is Islamic agenda on Christian in Nigeria.
What the Fulani man has, anyway, what the Herder terrorist has is what you call a congregation of mercenaries. They assemble mercenaries from different camps. So the camp that is proximate to them is what they call Mahanga, and around Kura falls from there. But the major theater is the fast itself, further anchored by these other ones. And they collaborate to launch these attacks. They are always barbaric. And this settlement is on record, has grown significantly in sophistication through illegal weaponry. And what they do, those who are here today could not withstand it, and across the community. Because in far distant communities, the gunshots were so massive that they could not resist. And it was very intimidating. So they, in conjunction with their allies, the major theater is the fast itself.